We've had a terrific competition so far. Ben Kelsey, in the first event, the duck walk, left all competitors trailing in his wake to secure maximum points in the opening event. But Kelsey perhaps let valuable points slip in the monster log overhead press, dropping it after just 2 completed repetitions. Johnny Kelly, a surprise winner perhaps, with a personal best of 4 repetitions. But then the defending champion Ed Hall begun his charge, power and aggression to take the car roll with a dominant display, and then winning the deadlift for Max with a really impressive performance.
It's time for our final event here at the finals of UK Strongest Man, the CNP 4XL Max Stone Lift. And before our head referee explains in more detail, it's time for some more of our beloved Iceland facts.
That's right, Magnus, is it true that you once punched a troll so hard in the face that its heart came out of its mouth?
Yes.
Is it true that you caught Kiko, the whale used in Free Willy, with your bare hands?
Yes.
Is it true that you own a particularly colourful Icelandic traditional jumper known as a lupa pesa?
No, I got all of them.
Amazing. How does this bad boy work then?
Well, basically 400-pound stones. You gotta lift it, put them over here as many times as you can in a 90 seconds time limit.
This is it, guys. We're down to the wire. This is the final event.
So Pat O'Dwyer, remember he had to curtail his deadlift for Max after tearing the callus on that left hand. There you see the strapping applied to that left hand. How will his grip be affected in this event? Luke Stoltman, currently in 7th place, the Highland Oak from Inverness, in his first UK Strongest Man. And Pat O'Dwyer immediately saying no, he won't take part, his grip too adversely affected after tearing off that callus in what was quite a bloody injury during the deadlift for Max. And you can see how awkward an object this is to get off the ground. Luke Stoltman, 6'3" tall, and even he struggling to wrap his forearms and hands around this enormous cannonball. 180 kilograms, and to complete 1 repetition. Well, he's saying, are you kidding me? There's no way I'm looking to lift that a second time. Just contemplates whether he should give it an effort now. 90 seconds the time limit, we've just passed the halfway stage. So Stoltman, being encouraged by Glenn Ross on the microphone and by the crowd on hand here in Belfast, braces himself once more, embraces that stone, but no, that is it. 1 successful repetition for Stoltman. O'Dwyer choosing not to lift, but encouraged Stoltman every step of the way.
My starting strength obviously not as good as the more experienced guys and more. But the more I train, the more I'll get stronger and better, and I'll come back and prove. And next year, the year after, who knows?
So you're saying watch this space?
Definitely.
Like, you seem to be wearing different footwear for every event. What are these ones all about?
These are basically Olympic lifting shoes.
How are they different to just a normal pair of trainers?
To stabilise your foot more, because you have a solid base, you can get lower and you're more stable, and the bottom of them is solid.
What are these
this
for?
one here is a rock climbing shoe. Like, we use this for the scrum earlier, or truck pull.
So how many pairs of shoes have you got here with you today?
I have 4. I have a normal pair of trainers as well, like for, say, just car roll and things. So.
And I noticed at the disco last night you were wearing platforms with a goldfish in.
Yeah. I always wear them when I'm out.
Got to rock the fashion as well, haven't you? Cheers, Nicky.
So all jokes aside now for Nicky Wheelen, currently in joint 5th. Remember, he finished in 4th place last year in UK's Strongest Man. Simon Johnston, the Welsh champion, 7th place finisher last year. Would dearly love to improve in this year's competition. Nicky Wheelen with a roar of aggression as he embraces that immense cannonball in an effort to get it off the ground. Simon Johnston, remember, he tore his calluses open during the deadlift for Max, and Wheelen just muscling that ball over the bar for 1 completed repetition. Get to grips with it for a second time. Now down on the quads and yells as he lobs the orb over for 2 completed reps. Asking for encouragement from the crowd. Johnston going well. 1 completed repetition for him. How much is his grip being adversely affected by that torn callus? But look at Nicky Wheelen. All of his aggression all of his focus being channeled on lifting that massive 180 kilogram ball. 3 reps completed, 30 seconds to go. Johnston has it on the lip of the rail for 2 completed reps. And now using his abdomen and torso to try and get it over. Supreme effort being applied, continuing to roar and get every ounce of energy out of himself. Pushes it finally in dismissive fashion and saying that is enough with 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Johnston attempting to complete 3 repetitions, drives up from the legs, but no. 2 reps will be Johnston's best, but that is a fantastic effort by both athletes in the Max Stone lift. 4 reps for Wheelen, 2 reps for Johnston.
You want to know what intensity looks like? That's what intensity looks like. Dude, that was incredible.
Thanks, Nick.
Great stuff. Take me through that.
Just get crazy, pull it off the floor, hope for the best.
That's the craziest I've ever seen you. You're a pretty mild-mannered guy.
Yeah, I need to get pretty aggressive for stones though. So.
It's the final. Last event. We're leading now. Amazing. Good stuff.
Thanks, Nick.
Well done.
So Tom Shaw, currently lying in 4th place. He finished 5th in the final last year. Stated aim was to try and podium this year. Johnny Kelly, Ireland's strongest man, a 6th place finisher in 2012. Currently in possession of a podium spot. You've seen how challenging this event is for the previous athletes. The 6'5" height and long limbs of Tom Shaw could well be an advantage in this event, as he attempts to embrace that massive 180 kilogram stone. Johnny Kelly, one of the lighter athletes, but it's Tom Shaw just teetering slightly as he gets it up onto his quads. Now the drive to get it onto the plinth, and over it goes. 1 completed repetition for Tom Shaw. Johnny Kelly only up and approaching the lip of the rail now. Gonna take a big effort. Being encouraged by the crowd. You hear them saying Johnny up, but when you've got a 180 kilogram load resting on your quads, that is of course easier said than done. Tom Shaw approaching the rail for the 2nd rep. Both men having on the rail now. Shaw, 2 reps completed. Johnny Kelly pushes it over to complete 1 repetition. 25 seconds to go of the 90-second time limit. Shaw just working the tacky as he goes for rep number 3. Far more comfortable up onto the legs in this repetition. The drayman used to lugging kegs of beer during his day job, but they will be far easier to grip than that 180 kilogram stone proving to be. Fantastic effort by both of the strongmen. 2 reps for Shaw, 1 for Kelly.
Crazy, absolutely crazy.
But 2 is a phenomenal achievement.
I need to try and make up some points and potentially still make podium. I'll be disappointed if I don't make podium, and I might even reassess my future with Stoltman if I don't podium.
Go get yourself some more. Great stuff, mate. Well done.
What happened?
It's just a big stone. Wasn't strong enough.
It's the most basic answer I've ever heard, and it probably is the most suited one. Listen, I was intrigued because you're covered in tacky. You're also fairly hairy.
Yeah.
Are you trying to give yourself a backsack and crack as you go?
I started to shave, but obviously I didn't shave my front.
Is it not ripping the hairs out as you're trying to lift it though?
It wasn't too bad this year, but it did take the hairs off my arm, so.
Well done, still a magnificent performance.
Cheers, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
So the top 2 athletes as things stand coming into this event. Ben Kelsey, 3.5 points behind. The man to his left, Ed Hall. The defending champion, Ed Hall. And to put that into some type of context, providing of course Ed Hall doesn't have a nightmare, he could probably choose to cruise through this particular event. Ben Kelsey with a 3.5 point deficit to try and overturn. So Hall, again, looking incredibly comfortable, but Ben Kelsey right there with him. These two have been neck and neck in so many events over the course of qualification and here in the final. Ben Kelsey, one of the lighter athletes at just 112 kilograms, but he has taken the lead and he's going very well indeed. The shirt torn from his torso due to the weight of the stone and the adhesion of the tacky. Ed Hall now goes into the lead. 3 repetitions completed for him. Kelsey's going to have to find something and hope that Hall has a sudden nightmare. Well, Kelsey, no, he appears to be calling it a day. He's conceded top spot, and it looks as though Ed Hall will successfully defend and retain his title. 30 seconds to go of the 90-second time limit. 4 repetitions completed, and he's asking for more from the crowd. Ed Hall, this fantastic athlete, this supreme showman, putting on a show for the fans here in Belfast now. Kelsey, back to the task, completes 4 repetitions to tie it up. But Hall, secure in the knowledge that he has successfully defended his title, is now producing a supreme display of strength for the fans on hand in Belfast. He gets it and completes 5 repetitions. That's 3 victories in succession. And a roar of delight from the defending champion who has successfully retained his crown. He has asserted his authority once again. Ed Hall is the winner and once more the UK's strongest man. So Ed Hall with another victory in the closing event of UK's strongest man. Maximum points in the Max Stone lift. And the final leaderboard making for wonderful viewing for Ed Hall. He underlines his supremacy as the UK's strongest man for the 3rd championships in succession. Ben Kelsey, what an introduction to strongman for him. 2nd place in his first competition among the big boys, while Johnny Kelly, Ireland's strongest man, gets himself onto the podium, improving from 6th position last year, 3rd place this year. Good performance from the Irish champion.
Your future in this sport's huge, right?
I'd like to think so. My plan now is to come back, compete again next year, 10, 15 kilos heavier, similar size to these guys, a bit more experience, another year's training.
Looking at the pretender to the throne right here, Ben Kelsey. Great stuff, mate.
Cheers,
well
mate.
done.
Taking the UK strongest man again, defended your title. How do you feel?
I feel great. I came into this competition, I say battered, bruised, tired, broken.
30-hour flight from China.
30-hour flight, got off the plane an hour later competing. I'm really happy to win a competition at this level, even as knackered as I am.
UK Strongest Man 2013, Ed Hall!
Well, that brings us to the end of another fantastic competition. In fact, the 10-year anniversary of UK's strongest man. Eddie Hall, the reigning champion, retaining that title for the 3rd year running. The Spartan is unstoppable, it seems.
It's been a great year and it's been a great competition, and it has to be said that he battled back after some pressure after the first couple of events, and coming off a 30-hour flight after competing in the world's strongest man, it has to be said that he showed what a champion is made of this year in 2013.
Some fresh faces hot on his heels, though. I can't wait to see what happens next year. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Matt Bell.
I'm Nick Aldis.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.